The Meat Improv! Hello and welcome to The Meat Improv with me, Josh Simpson.
And me, Jake Jabbour.
The Meat is the storytelling and improv comedy podcast where we bring on comedian guests to tell true meaty stories from their lives.
And then we take those stories and use them as inspiration for long-form, improvised comedic scenes.
That's right. We have a Patreon where we do an extra weekly episode where we sort of talk shop. And we also have a Discord channel where you can talk about the show or comedy in general or ask us questions or anything you like. So that's all at patreon.com/themeatimprov. Let's get into the actual show now. Will this be our first show in July? I think it will be.
Yes, I think so.
I don't know why that matters, but that's the truth. We have two first-timers, very special guests from Lotions 11, Amalia Aquino. Hello, Amalia.
Hello.
Hi, Amalia.
Hello.
Oh, I missed you. Thanks for coming on.
Here.
And from Bird... I already forgot. Bird
Control.
Bird Control. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
World famous Bird Control.
It's Sarah Zimmerman.
Hey,
Hi,
Sarah.
Sarah.
Thanks for coming on. Well, this is great. We're turning the corner on. I don't know. Well, I was going to say 3 months in quarantine, but there's so much else going on in the world. I'm not in Los Angeles, but it doesn't matter for the purposes of this show.
Well,
what?
I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I mean, for the purposes of talking about it.
Yeah.
Chit chat,
A little chit chat. It's crazy. I'm kind of only hearing secondhand about stuff going on in Los Angeles. I heard about Hugo's Tacos closed down because customers were harassing them Hugo's made them wear masks or whatever.
Yeah.
I love Hugo's Tacos. It might be top 5 place that I like eat in a pinch. It's like I eat there a lot. I used to live right by there. And Los Angeles fucked up in that regard. But I was surprised to hear that. Do you think that since I've been gone for about 2 weeks, do you think that things have been lax in terms of have there been more people without masks and stuff like that?
Probably depends on where you're at.
Yeah. You mean in LA?
Yeah, or even like LA County versus Orange County versus
Yeah. I just didn't think it was that big of a problem at stores and stuff when I was in LA. But now I saw that Trader Joe's woman seeing Hugo's. I'm from an outside perspective, it's it's crumbling, but I do realize that it could just be
I feel like there's also just a lot of discussion and blame being placed on individual people for not wearing masks when what the hell? Garcetti is saying in one breath that we need to open all the bars and get back to normal with businesses. And then in the very next tweet being stay at home, stay safe, protect everyone. How are those things compatible? And I don't know. I wondered how much you can blame all the way down the line, random people that end up at a bar and then get infected. You can't wear a mask at a bar the whole time. So what do they want from people?
Yeah, it is mixed messaging.
I'm wearing a mask, you guys, just so you know, and I don't want anyone to go to bars. I don't want anything to get misconstrued. Oh.
You're not wearing a mask on this Zoom call, so.
Fuck.
It's hard to tell. Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I went from Los Angeles to San Francisco to Salt Lake City, Utah to Nebraska to here.
And
long days in the car. San Francisco was probably more there. I felt overall they were more adamant about the mask stuff than Los Angeles. I just like, even if people weren't like in my neighborhood in Los Angeles, I see people all the time not wearing masks, walking their dogs and stuff like that, which I kind of get when you're outside, but I still wear one when I jog and stuff. But everyone in San Francisco at least had one handy, you know, like even if it wasn't on, they had one handy.
That feels like the vibe here where if you're like on a hike or something and you're not around anyone, you can take it off. Like that's what I've seen and what I've done. I don't know if that's everyone.
Yeah. I think it's good to at least have with you.
Yeah.
You should always have it. And then the second someone's like approaching you, you should have it on. And that's what I've been seeing people do. Like even if they're not wearing it all the time, they put it on when they pass someone.
Yeah. For sure.
Can I tell you guys a trick that I do with my
Ooh.
Please.
So, they're fabric and like you're supposed to do like a can you blow out a candle with your mask on still? That kind of testing the layers.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's like the test.
Well, yeah, sure. Because then like maybe some droplets can get out. So, being a lady, I have in my home panty liners. So like you can stick them inside your mask.
Oh.
Another layer.
Oh.
I don't know if it's doing anything, but I just feel a little like I'm protecting people.
That's a good tip.
It is a good tip.
Yeah.
Cut to me just like asking Lanny, like, what is do you have written on my hand, panty liner?
Don't ask her. Google that.
Probably should. That's a good tip.
I feel like this has been making the rounds, but it happened organically during a conversation. I don't need to take credit for it, but I was having like a Zoom dinner with some friends, and we were like talking about everything that was happening. And I was like, my prediction is they're just trying to keep everything open through the 4th of July. And someone on the Zoom call was like, that's like the mayor in Jaws. And it is exactly like the mayor in Jaws. Like, it is like being like you were talking about Garcetti. It's like, come on out to the beach. It's nice. Why don't you go in the water? And then the mayor later being like, my kid was on that beach. Like, it feels
crazy,
exactly like that.
It's like the ultimate demonstration of like what's most important. It's like we need to get these jobs back, man. We need to have economy. Like,
yeah. And it's like the mayor in Jaws is painted as this like buffoonish villain who's like, we're going to be on welfare in the winter if we can't stay open during the 4th of July. And people are like, there's a shark in the water.
This is more immediate.
And it's literally like everybody's just hanging out. And at one point in the movie, like goes up to his buddy and he's like, go on and get in the water. And that guy like walks his whole family into the water, like because he got peer pressured by the mayor. And that like feels like what's happening.
Yeah, this is when I confess I've never seen Jaws.
You should watch
but
it.
I feel like I have.
Because I remember before watching Jaws and before this pandemic sort of being like, I don't know how that's a scary movie. Just stay out of the water and the problem goes away. And now I'm literally living in a world where it's like, just stay inside and the problem goes away. Like, it's like the same thing of like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Should see Jaws. Jaws is good.
It's on the list.
Yeah. I've got a lot of those too. So San Francisco is good. Salt Lake City, no bueno. Not good. Salt Lake City, we rolled up to our hotel, and right next door was a bar with just a ton of like kids in their 20s, like no masks, no nothing. There was a band playing at the bar, so I've heard live music since.
Whoa! Oh yeah.
What is it like?
It wasn't great. They were called Renegades of Spunk.
All right.
I've been hearing some great live music at these protests, and that's like the most fun thing to be like marching to live music. That'll give you chills.
You mean like people like singing as they march and stuff?
The one the other day, they were just kind of like stationed along the path, so it was like something new just like marched by. And then
That's cool.
At the like anti-pride rally a couple weeks ago in WeHo, they just like took over an intersection and had like a concert there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Utah not so good. They've since spiked. Trying to think. The whole time I was in Utah, so we didn't like hang out at that bar, but we got in pretty late, so we like put our stuff in our hotel room, came back down and like ordered some to-go food from like it turned out to be that bar we didn't realize. And we were waiting outside for our to-go food, and we saw one other guy in a mask. And when we talked to him, he's like, "Yeah, I'm a doctor." He's like, I've been working on COVID patients here in Salt Lake." Like he flew in from somewhere else, and it was like there were also like employees wearing masks, but like all the employees in that bar were just around people not wearing masks at all. So like they're just in danger. Yeah, and that's what the doctor pointed out. But that was kind of crazy to be like the only guy I saw wearing a mask was a doctor. Like might take his word for it. Nebraska, nothing. Not even people in the Taco Bell were wearing, like, not even employees wore masks there at the hotel or the Taco Bell. Why hide it? I ate at a Taco Bell. And then here, I'm on the border of Iowa and Illinois, and Iowa, they don't care. In Illinois, they're strict. So like if you're in Illinois, you have to wear a mask in stores and stuff. But Iowa, it's like, it's very strange. And they're like, definitely, I'm in the Quad Cities. So they're sort of consider themselves kind of one big community. But even they're sort of torn asunder by these things. And meanwhile, we're spiking. So those are my observations from the country.
Wow.
Yeah. I guess not too unexpected. But
yeah, no big surprises.
What else is in the news, Jake?
That just really brought me down. All those people in that Taco Bell.
Yeah, I still ate there. Imagine that.
There you go.
Like, it's probably good. It's probably fine.
Yeah.
Well,
if this doesn't get us to universal basic income, I don't know what will. Like,
yeah.
Gotta get these people
Even
out
I
of that
wasn't.
Taco Bell.
Even I wasn't sold on that universal basic income when Yang was proposing it. And now I'm like,
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. Anytime there's only one guy on stage advocating for something, it's like everyone's going to be skeptical. But like at this point, it's like, y'all, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, there's some like, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I think they had tried it in some cities, some communities.
Did it work?
I haven't read up on what happened, but I don't know.
Yeah.
They're trying it.
Studies they're all like super small studies, but the results are all like, yeah, it improves people's lives. Like, and they don't, and like they're all pretty consistent on like they don't just make people do nothing. Like people are still motivated to even still work. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not an expert.
It worked in my household. My mom would give me an allowance, and I'd have a set of chores to do. And if I needed more money for something, I could do more chores.
That's like work.
That sounds like a job. Yeah, that sounds like capitalism.
Yeah, we're talking about if mommy just gave you money.
Oh,
come on, Jake, get with it.
Oh yeah, my mom, I guess, is a capitalist.
Hey, everyone, just relax, okay? We're camping in the woods. We're going to have just a good weekend, all right? We're celebrating Dale's 30th. So, I mean, let's just have a good time. I'm sick of you all saying like, oh, this is like the Halloween movies. There's like a mass murderer in the woods. He's a monster. He doesn't have really a motive to kill. He just loves to kill. I don't want to hear any more about it. Okay. I saw a couple signs on the way in about something like that, but like put it out of your head.
The old guy at the gas station said, "Don't."
I was just going to bring this up.
Yeah, he said, "Don't go into those woods," and he said the last teenagers who drove up here never were seen from again.
I specifically remember that phrase. Never were seen from again.
Yeah.
You don't forget that.
That's just what old dudes at like small town gas stations do. They try to keep you out of their town. They don't want it to become the next Disneyland or whatever.
They would want the business. They would want it.
Well, I know
SUV.
I know you want it to be like how it was before. You want to go back to how the world was before.
Yeah.
Before there were mindless killers on
if
the
you could take that hat off, by the way, and throw it into the campfire, I think we'd all appreciate it.
Oh, make America like it was before again?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not doing that. Elaborate, though. You want me... Of course, I want it to be like it was before.
Yes.
Like before there was a killer on the loose. I made hats. I'm trying to sell them. They're not going well. But, it's like when terrorism happened. If we let the terrorists change our way of life, the terrorists win.
Sorry, when terrorism happened, when? just when terrorism happened?
Just when it ever happened, right? After 9/11, did I quit, doing miming on the corner of in our college? I didn't.
No, not even on the day.
Look, I want to have a good time camping. I just feel like we're setting ourselves up for a Halloween type murder massacre. I mean, it's my 30th birthday. Josh, you've waited 30 years. You're still a virgin at 30. Why are you insisting that you lose your virginity on this camping trip? Don't you think that is just inviting a killer to come?
A huge liability.
I want to lose my virginity. I was pretty clear about it.
That's fine. But why tonight?
Chill.
Why on this camping trip?
I want to add some importance to it. It's your 30th. I want to lose my virginity. Let's have ourselves a weekend.
I don't see the relativity between those two things. I don't think that they need.
I'm trying to have a classic camping trip, okay? I'm just trying to make it classic. I'm going to start a fire. I'm going to start a campfire. All right? And I'll go out back where it's all cold and weird and dark, and you just stay in here.
Use the firewood in front of us. Why are you going to get
firewood? Chopping it.
We have firewood. Why are you going to get other firewood?
I gotta chop it because I don't want to glamp. I want to camp.
So we don't even have any knives or any kind of cutlery to protect ourselves. You bring all finger foods. All finger foods.
Yeah. I didn't want to I don't know. It didn't say in the rental thing if they were going to have. Oh, I'm so confused. But no, yeah, it's all finger foods. We're doing finger food camping. Okay. I know you said you brought firewood or whatever. I'm not trying to glamp, trying to go get some regular stuff. We don't need any knives. Okay. Because we don't need to defend ourselves if that's what you're after.
Well,
all right.
Don't walk away with the one weapon we have then. We need that axe.
Yeah.
Don't go into the woods.
You know what? I'm going to throw the axe away. I'm just going to
toss it
as I can.
No.
What? You all are living in fear. Okay? After 9/11 happened, did you give up your finger paints?
Why?
Alyssa?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't. Why? Because you didn't want the terrorists to win. All right. So this weekend, we're going to have a heck of a time. We're going to celebrate a 30th. I'm going to lose my virginity. Alyssa, you're going to finally call your dad or whatever you said. We're going to make...
Alyssa, are you going to call your dad on this trip?
Well, I mean, if it's going to be a big occasion for everybody else, I've been meaning to do that.
I
Okay.
haven't talked to him in like 8 years. You really want to like reopen that Pandora's box on this trip?
Well, everybody else had something. Everyone else had a milestone. Okay, so
I'm not doing anything. I'm chill. Like we can just enjoy the camping trip, and
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
that can be it.
You're wearing shorts. You never wear shorts.
Yeah, it's
Nice. Good point.
hot. Yeah, I mean, I figured it's time to wear shorts, but that doesn't need to be a thing, you know?
By the way, if you want to talk to your dad, you're going to have to write a letter to dictate later because I did get rid of all the phones.
Why?
I don't want everyone to be distracted or calling 911 every time there's a crook or a creak in the house or a crook by the window or whatever.
You don't think that's crazy to get rid of all the phones?
And the weapons.
I got rid of them.
And you insist you don't want to go glamping, but you set up this hot tub for us to soak in, which seems like a liability.
You don't like the hot tub?
Huge liability.
I like it. I like the hot tub. I would prefer that you didn't set up a TV to sit atop it. It feels like one of us is going to get electrocuted by a murderer.
Immediately.
See, you're hysterical. You're
I'm
combining
hysterical.
Halloween with just the Halloween franchise with now I think you're on to Final Destination. You're worried about like goofy
They're
monstrous
all relevant.
mishaps.
Yeah. In Halloween 2, he drowned somebody in a hot tub and maybe electrocuted them as well. And if you wanted to chop wood,
I didn't see it.
if you wanted to chop wood, why bring the wood chipper? Why bring the wood chipper unless you're inviting a murderer to feed us into it?
I like
That is the absolute last way I want to go. And you invited it here. You invited this wood chipper.
I like to mince wood.
What is that?
I will mince you. I will mince you.
Don't mince. You're gonna mince me. Okay, the real mature. Real mature.
I didn't want to invite you on this trip. I didn't even want you to come. And now you're ruining it.
It's true.
You didn't want to invite me on the trip?
Sarah didn't want to invite you.
Wow. So it all comes out.
I just knew this would happen. You know,
That's a lot to take in. God.
look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like hurt your feelings or anything.
Right at this moment, like a fist hits their glass patio door. 1 second.
What do you mean 1 second? What do you think that is?
God.
Sarah, you really didn't want me to come onto this?
Who is that? We have not seen anyone for miles, okay? We hiked 12 miles to get here. Who is that?
The hand goes through and opens the door. Jesus, is it? Hold on a second.
My God.
Hey, buddy, not today. All right. We'll just
What are
leave
you
the pizza at the
doing?
door or whatever. Sarah,
think that
we need to talk about
pizza?
this. Sarah,
Oh my
what did I
God.
do to offend you? I feel like things have been weird for a while because, like,
Oh, I've been stabbed.
Sarah, don't avoid the subject. We haven't been cool since Alyssa's wedding.
He's killing Sarah. Ah!
Sarah, you better spit it out. Will you hands off for a moment? I'm trying to talk to my friend. Sarah?
Oh no, he's dragging me over to the hot tub. Oh,
being
no.
Hey, if you break that hot tub, just so you know, you gotta pay me back. Come on. Sir, I'm trying to talk to my friend here, if you don't mind. Sir,
Why is the wood chipper on? Who turned it on?
I'm mincing our firewood.
Get the paper. I will write a letter to my dad right now. Get the paper.
Great. I'm gonna have sex with myself in the upstairs bedroom.
We cut to Josh in a police interrogation room. So you and your buddies went camping. You went for your friends.
Well, two of them. I don't know if Sarah's my buddy anymore.
Interesting. You and Sarah had a dispute.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't bring it on, but she dropped a bomb on me. She said that we weren't really friends anymore. She didn't want to invite me to the weekend. It's
So
like,
three of your friends were murdered. And we're is that annoying to you? Are you annoyed by that?
Yeah, it is annoying. I was trying to lose my virginity. I was trying to get a high five after we had a whole thing planned, and these guys are just up their own. They're so selfish. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, we're trying to piece together the events of the evening. We talked to the local gas station attendant. He said he warned you all about going into the woods. That was at 5:05.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay.
I remember talking to him, but I don't remember the time.
Okay. I'll be honest. Right now, you're our prime suspect. You seem to have had a beef with one of your friends. You don't recall being warned not to go into the woods. In your statement, you said, I brought up the hot tub and the wood chipper, and I was going to lose my virginity.
I was mincing wood and going to chill with my buds.
Okay. Well,
I'm still... Listen, I saw my three friends get murdered, and it was very frustrating to me. I know that I'm not convinced everything I saw was real life or whatever. So.
There's a knock at the door.
Oh, come 1 second to ask me the question.
Hold on. Yes.
Hey, boss. Sorry to disturb you. We just got some big new evidence. It turns out that the father of one of the victims just received a letter in the mail.
It got there.
Yeah, it's actually written in blood, and it says Josh did it. This is great, right?
That's incredible.
Yeah, it just says Josh did it. That's it. Like,
that's all the letter says?
That's all it even said. It was addressed and stamped and everything, but all the letter said was just Josh did it. So
why would Alyssa do that?
Wow. Thank you.
I lost two friends in the mental way and three friends by murder.
This says you did it.
I didn't do it.
Dipshit.
Hey, no name calling. All right.
Knock, 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 knock.
Yes.
1 second.
Stop doing that.
I hate when people knock. Go ahead.
I heard 1 second, but I don't think you want to turn your lawyer away. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Why are you talking to them? Why are you talking to them without me? Why?
I'm frustrated. Okay.
Is this? What's this paper? Can I see that? As his attorney, I want to see that paper. What does it say?
It says Josh did it, written in blood.
Why would she choose to say that to her dad? She's been estranged from him for 8 years. He doesn't.
Look, my client has a history of, he has documented across different platforms, social media, on his vision board, that he wants to lose his virginity. Okay.
Yes, I put it everywhere.
How do we not know that this is a statement claiming that he actually did lose his virginity that night?
You think the statement Josh did it means Josh had sex?
Yes, it's a commonly known saying.
I love my lawyers. All right, so welcome back. It's time to get into the meat part of the podcast. This is when a guest shares a true meaty story from their life. Amalia, you're up first. What would you like to talk about?
So we're in quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it. And in this time, I've spent some time like sending letters to people. So that's something I've always liked to do. And additionally want to be able to like support a place like the postal service, post office and stuff like that. So one of the letters I've written in this time, a couple letters actually, is to a pen pal that I've had since I was 9 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah. I've never met her in person. And the way that we got connected was when I was 9 years old, a friend of mine from school came over my house and she brought a magazine. And the magazine was a magazine for, it was like a Christian girls magazine, called My Friend. And then in the back of the magazine is like, do you want a pen pal? And just like a bunch of young girls put their address in there. So you like write to someone from the back of that magazine.
Whoa. They didn't just...
Wait, so
no one connected
like, verification process?
None whatsoever. None. So yeah. So
and there's no one even being the middleman. Like, we should connect to this person with this person.
No. This was what year was that? 1993. 1994.
Yeah. Okay.
This is when people who could potentially hurt kids, they're in vans, trying to give candy to kids. They're not,
Yeah.
So I wrote a letter to this one person. Her name is Casey. Casey, follow the Meet Improv podcast. She lived at the time in I don't even know how to say the name of the city where she grew up, Minot, North Dakota. And I was in near San Francisco, California at that time. So North Dakota, we've been writing each other since 9 years old. And yeah, we like wrote each other letters like throughout all the years. There was one letter she wrote to me about like armpit hair at like 11. The belief that like, oh, if you use deodorant, you're going to get more armpit hair. And it was around the time that in my class, they had like a little talk about like, health and sex ed and stuff. And I like raised my hand and confidently asked my question of like, I have heard that you can get more armpit hair if you use deodorant. So I don't know, it's like early Facebook influence or whatever. My friend says this. So then, yeah, like through the years, we've kept in touch, sent each other letters. We talked on the phone once.
Was it awkward?
Well, we were still kids and it was awkward. Yeah. And like long distance. But then ever since then, like even as technology has changed and stuff like that, like we could easily email each other, but we still write letters.
Whoa.
Yeah. And like she moved to Ohio. So she's in Dayton or something like that now. And, I was like in Illinois, like we could have made it happen where we like could meet up. And at the start of the pandemic, she was like in San Diego, but it's just strictly like letters relationship.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So you don't want to meet in person?
I don't know. I would like to after she follows the Meet Improv podcast. No.
Don't let that be the ending to this story. You hit such a beautiful story, and then it's like, and it all came together on the meet.
No. I'd be down to. It's just, maybe now it's like just too weird. I don't know. Go ahead.
Has it come up to Zoom?
No.
You've got so much time.
With all the technological advancements.
Yeah.
It hasn't come up. I mean, I wrote her a letter more recently. It was around the time of all the like uprisings and stuff. And I like wrote this letter about how I felt about it. And I was like, I don't even like, like really knows me. Like they're going to like, I don't know if she's kept everything I've, written to her, but she has this like record of me growing up.
Wow.
Yeah, that is crazy.
You've got I wonder what percentage of people, I mean, you might be the only one, right? What's the percentage of people who found pen pals in that magazine and are still writing to each other? That's like
very small.
That is, I mean, I'm sure whoever was the chief editor didn't even think it was gonna. He was like, "Yeah, that sounds good. Pen pals. I don't know. We got to fill 40 pages." That's so wild.
Right. It's like these girls keep writing in and talking about sex stuff, and we don't want to use like magazine space for that. Let them just make a pen pal and find out that way.
It was just a way for them not to have to answer the questions. They just like redirected you at each other.
What's so if you don't mind, tell me more. What do you know about her? You said she must know a lot about you, but
yeah. I mean, I don't want to put her on blast here, but like, I mean, I know, we were in touch when like she got married, and she sent me like a wedding announcement. Like she's had 2 children, and she told me about them. Like,
so you're almost like historians for each other.
Could be.
Kinda.
Maybe. Yeah.
Were you invited to the wedding?
No. No. Yeah.
Would you invite your pen pal? I wonder. Would I invite my pen pal?
Yeah, that's interesting. My pen pals were always very short lived, and most of them I even had met.
I mean, I've had others. Yeah, but yeah, like short. Yeah.
So what would you say like the what role does it play in your life? Is it like therapeutic, or is it like almost just nice to like take some time to do an old fashioned thing? Is it almost like sentimental at this time, like from keeping it up into your adulthood?
I think so. It's also, I mean, I think too, it was neat to learn about somebody that wasn't in my neighborhood, Yeah, it's just like, oh, there's someone else that's a kid growing up too, and like kind of going through life, and we don't share experiences, you know what I mean? Like on a local level, culturally even too, just me being like an Asian person. And so yeah, it was neat. But then for some reason over the years, I've still gone and like, I'm sorry, Casey, if you're listening to the Meet Improv podcast. I don't have any of her letters. There was a point where I like took letters from everybody that's ever written to me, and I like shred them. And then any photos she sent me of herself, I think I sent them back to her.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe because
Wait, what?
Yeah, maybe because it's like I don't know what she's doing with my stuff, but then it's like, okay, what if I like died, right? And then like they're looking through my stuff, and then it's like this pile of letters that are so personal from somebody else. I don't know. I'm like all worried that she's going to be embarrassed or something like that.
Oh, wow.
I don't even do myself that service. I just get embarrassing shit.
Yeah, could you come over to my place and shred anything you think might be embarrassing when I die?
Right.
All that would be left is a pair of shoes. I am like, that is, so how many letters would you estimate that you've exchanged?
Well, it was a lot when we were kids. Maybe when we were kids, it was like 1 or 2 a month. And then now as adults, maybe we'll get like 1 or 2 a year.
Okay.
Or maybe, and then I might send her more. Oh God, there's stuff floating around about me. I've probably sent her more, especially like now and like, because like we're all home. So yeah.
Huh.
The one thing that comes to mind to me is like, you are like, if I ever was like trying to think of somebody to like do like feed my cat while I was out of town or whatever, like you are immediately at the top of the list of people I would trust to like get something done. Like the fact that you've been writing letters for like decades is just an astounding sort of just like, yep. And then I do this. I mean, I can't I just can't form a habit like that. Like that is, I'm like totally in awe. I think that's incredible.
So you think that I should, when we come out of this and I'm like applying to jobs again and stuff, like I should put this on?
Absolutely. Yes, that's it. Absolutely it. I would absolutely hire somebody who's like, I've had a pen pal for 20 years or whatever. I would be like, done.
It shows commitment. It shows follow through.
I'm talking real shit.
Improv. Yeah, so it's called. Program is called. Just Being Kids. And basically the idea is I want to do a website where it's just a bunch of kids and they put down some of their personal info so that anyone who any of their friends or whatever at school can look them up and then can know their interests, kind of like stuff like what kind of neighborhood they live in, parents' names, whatever they need just to sort of, I don't know, just to connect kids. It's not fair that kids don't have social media. Adults always have it and stuff like that. So I figure just being kids. What do you think? I'm asking for $15 million in seed money.
Well, let me tell you, my kid, this is a niche that we've been waiting for this niche to be filled. You know why?
Yeah.
Because my kid is an aspiring improv star, okay?
Really?
My kid is an aspiring improv star.
Sounds cool.
They need a place to promote their shows.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah?
We could definitely work that into the platform. We're just kids, right? Or just being kids. I have a bunch of names written on this board. So pick whatever one you like best. But yes, this is a perfect place for them to promote their own improv shows.
Okay. Right. Okay.
And so, boy, I'm just so glad you're on board with this because I've pitched this. I hate to say it. I've been up and down the streets here in Silicon Valley, and some of these people say that it's dangerous.
How is it dangerous?
Well, they say you give you have to upload 40 photos of each kid before to create the profile. So they say it's like a lot of photos. There's a neighborhood aspect to it. They're worried about abductions. Abductions, perhaps knowing so much about a kid, you could, for instance, you said your kid does improv.
Yes.
You could lure a kid into your van to abduct them or whatever with the Upright Citizens Brigade improvisation manual or something very specific to that niche. And I didn't know that off the top of my head. I'm just typed it into we'rejustkids.com and it comes up with relevant gifts and stuff that you might be able to gift each other. I think it's a cool idea.
Well, 40 photos, you said?
40 photos. It just, a lot of people go by less is more, but we just want 40 photos because sometimes people upload. Have you ever been on a dating site? Not that this is a dating site. I don't need kids to be dating.
We cut to a conference room at a law firm with Amelia's character and Josh's character. I'll be speaking on behalf of my client, Sarah, here. You started we'rejustkids.com. And it really grinds my gears that you didn't put any thought into this. Do you realize what a dangerous... Sarah's kid got on that website and 40 photos of her kid. And within 2 weeks, we find that her kid is up to his elbows in improvisation.
Oh, this has come up more than once.
It's come up more than once.
I never thought my child being exposed to improvisational comedy is not something that I want. Do you hear me?
It's not something we want either necessarily. Could be a bug in the system. Is it?
You
pushing
two are being
improv
pretty
into-
casual about this. You're being pretty casual. He got lured into an imaginary van and then was asked to help invent a fart machine on day one.
Yes, and the fart machine.
Oh, is that a joke? You think this is funny? He was.
I'm trying to play along. I'm trying to relate to you. The kid must have got the interest in improv from
My
somewhere.
client had her kid set up on a track to go to law school, and now he's doing improvisation. Okay, with other people.
Are you?
When he gets home, he goes straight to his room. He locks the door. He doesn't even say hello. And I hear him in there. I hear him with that zip, that zop. That zip, that zop. That is not a good
Did you
sound.
just say other people?
Yes.
Is this? Oh, okay. So it's other people now, huh? It's other people.
What is?
Listen,
Yes.
that's like saying you people.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
My. I believe in we're just being kids.com. It routes to many, if people mess up the website name, it just routes to many sites. Right.
Eight of
we're
them
just
got
kids.
to-
We're just being
We're
kids.
just being kids.
8 of them got together. 8 of them got together in a garage and made some sort of monster together, okay? Each one of them portrayed a different part of the monster's body. Okay, he was supposed to be at the library studying, okay? He was going to be an architect. And now the only thing he builds is fart machines that create farts to feed the monster.
I looked in on one of their
Maybe it's-
practices. I watched them, okay? I watched my son do a terrible caricature of a woman and then make a misogynist joke that did not land, and everyone laughed at it. And that's what I am losing my son to, thanks to you.
So did the joke not land, or did everyone laugh at it?
Excuse me?
You can't have it both ways, in my understanding. Did they laugh at it, or
Those
did it
fuckers
not
are all
land?
gassing him up. They all were laughing, but it was not funny. It was not funny.
Okay. I mean, it seems like your kid caught the improv bug. You can blame We're Just Kids, Just Being Kids, farting around with kids.com, whatever website in particular you're using. But your kid loves improv comedy, and we're going to facilitate that. Let's take a look at some of their 40 pictures. Okay, these are pathetic. These are all just them it's your son goofing around on what looks like
Yes.
two
Look at
folding
those.
chairs.
They're all wearing matching bowling shirts. You did that.
You did that.
You did that.
You posted these photos. You're going to raise a young Colin Mockery, and who cares? That's going to be.
Who cares?
Who even is that?
What if it was your kid who was a young Colin Mockery? What if you raised a young Colin Mockery?
I don't have kids. This is my attempt to try and meet them. Jesus Christ.
This
How hard, how hard is this?
What?
I thought it was for kids to meet other kids. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That too.
We
I'm
cut
sorry.
to we cut to Josh auditioning for the All Kid improv team.
You guys need to see my hands, or no? Okay. Wow, cool playroom. Cool playroom. What are we gonna do here today? We're gonna do some
Hey, I'm
world's
sorry.
worst.
I'm here to coach. Sir, you need to leave.
Huh?
You need to leave. This is a child's improv practice. This is not for you.
Oh. Well, I just got matched up with these guys on we're just kids.com. We have similar interests. I'm wearing the khakis and the bowling shirt. I
See
No, if-
that, and that's great. And we love to yes and around here. That's right, kids. Right? We never say no. But you, sir, you need to leave.
That's typical. That's just typical.
This happens to you a lot.
I create a whole platform. I buy 75 domain names. I make an incredible social media service. I get the seed money of $15 million. I try to start an improv group finally with some like-minded individuals who think and play like me. And what
Wait,
happens?
Were you the man that hired me to set this up and that pays me? I thought that was a parent.
It's me.
We cut to the office, the GoDaddy.com app office. Oh God, that's domain 75 for the same person. Oh my God.
Relax, Carol. It's not that big of a deal.
75 domains, and they all have kids in them. They're kids.
You're stressing yourself out. Just register the domain and go on with it. It's just thoughtless work.
Okay, fine.
You're too attached to these domains.
I love a good domain name that just rolls off the tongue. And this person is just firing a Tommy gun of domains into the World Wide Web. No thought, no beauty.
Bulk orders are good for us, okay? It makes the GoDaddy stock go up. You're treating each of these.
We see a bunch of orders pop up on the screen. It's meet some kids. Now they're spelling kids with a Z. Just for kids with a Z.
Now they're spelling meat with an MEAT.
Well, let's shut that one down.
Knock, knock.
Yeah. Hey,
Are you Sarah Zimmerman?
that is me.
Sarah, I don't know if you recognize me from any of the photos. I'm Brad. Brad Jensen. I was married to your pen pal.
Bradley Jensen?
Yeah, I was married to your pen pal Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn.
She passed away. And I found a bunch of letters that you wrote to her, and I'm just trying to put together a little bit of a timeline. So I was hoping you could help me with some of these letters.
I'm so sorry. I can't believe she's gone. I haven't spoken to her in a few years, but I mean, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm just trying to get to understand her better, and I miss her, and trying to. And I found all these letters, and there's one about you asking of the health teacher if deodorant makes the hair under your armpits grow, and
man, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was funny.
Do you have any letters from her?
It's funny you ask. I think I don't think I do.
I mean, what I have here amounts to a few hundred letters. What, you don't have any letters
Yeah,
from her?
we exchanged a lot of letters. What I do is I just as soon as I read it, I'll just put it right in the shredder.
It just goes in the shredder?
Yeah, I really love my shredder. So basically any chance I get to use it, I really jump on it.
I have a 3-page letter here where you just go on and on about different types of haircuts and what they would look like on ponies, and you don't have a goddamn letter from my wife?
Well, I mean, that was actually in response to a really wonderful letter she wrote me. So if anything, it's like, if you're looking for that's pretty close. That's pretty close to it. You can kind of reconstruct the conversation.
You want me to reconstruct the conversation based on, here are some ponies with some haircut ideas? A single letter. I know that she wrote to you about us falling in love. Where did that one go?
Those were some of the most beautiful things I've ever read. And I used to read those letters back before I had my shredder. I used to kind of keep those letters around and then read them to people when they came over, because I found that people were just like touched by your love story. And she wrote so beautifully.
Yeah.
And then I got that shredder and I just shred everything in this house. Shred everything.
You retroactively shredded a bunch
I
of
was just looking for
letters.
things to shred. I was like, this is a trove of things to shred. There's just so many papers.
We cut
you
to
did
the, we cut to the funeral, the eulogy. Hey, I knew you were going to go back and try to get some letters so that you could like share them at the eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
But you flew Sarah here.
Yeah.
What is she? She's gonna give the eulogy now.
Yeah. She said she's gonna do her best to piece together what she can remember from 20 years worth of letters.
Okay.
We see Sarah feeding hymnals into a shredder in the back corner.
What the hell? When you asked me if I'd pay for you to check bags, I thought you were bringing like
It's
luggage.
just travel size, okay? For fitting the carry-on.
Could you stop that for a second?
For what? Can I help you?
Yeah. Are you ready to give the eulogy?
As ready as I'll ever be, I guess. Which means
Now, I thought you could stand up here. We've got this nice picture of my wife and I. It was photographed by Ansel Adams. I know typically that I don't do portraits, but I thought you could do the eulogy next to that portrait.
well, yeah, I can do that. Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
great.
I can do that.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, if you want to find a seat, we're going to commence with the eulogy. Thank you all for being here. I've done a lot of work to try and piece together Dawn's life as best as I could. And I have some close friends here. As you know, she had a pen pal for 20 years. And I'd just like to give an opportunity for Sarah to come speak to some of the stuff that Dawn wrote to her about.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This was such an honor to be invited here. And I never got to meet Dawn in person, but you all are so lovely. And she spoke so highly of you. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to read a couple thoughts that I wrote down on the plane.
Thank you.
Dawn was such a light in my life. Her letters brought me such joy and got me through some of the hardest times of my life and the people around me. I used to share them with other people. I just want to say that she was a once in a lifetime woman and she will be missed. Thank you.
Oh, that's a good shredder. That's a good looking shredder. That shredder took the paper right down.
Okay, we're focusing
quiet,
on
too.
Okay, we're focusing on the shredder a little
Thank you
bit.
so much.
Any specifics? 20 years of letters. You've got to have some specifics or details.
Does the shredder, can it handle photos?
Oh yeah, I actually went through a lot of old family photos that she sent me. So those shredded right away.
She sent you photos?
Yeah, she used to send
Let's
me
see.
a lot of stuff actually.
Someone from the audience goes and pulls a photo off a bulletin board of Sarah,
Oh
of
yeah,
Dawn.
it'll do that one.
Zoom.
Hey!
What about CDs and CDRs?
Why?
Good question.
Why?
Turn 'em right up.
Why would we want to try that?
Turn 'em right up.
Embarrassing mixtapes.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Well, do you want to do one? You just brought it up.
I think who? No, I don't think we need to shred any longer. I think
I have an old Target gift card that no longer has any funds on it. Does it work? It's a little bit harder. Oh, okay.
why do you have that?
Well, I used it to buy the pastries for outside, and then I used it. It's used up.
Try it.
Okay.
That's incredible. Where do you get something like this?
Oh, I actually own a shredding business. So if you want one, I can get you one for a low price.
Hey, do you mind talking to us over here in the side of the church for a little bit? Show us some of the other stuff this thing does.
Absolutely.
What the
I
fuck?
actually brought along another suitcase of mine. And this just has like a demo shredder inside that I can show you. This is a...
That's great. Hey, Frank, quit trying to steal the attention from Dawn's funeral. She didn't even like you that much, dude.
Excuse me?
Dawn, she was going to divorce you, I think.
I don't think she would have wanted her funeral to be about peddling shredders.
What? This is one of her best. This is one of her best friends, isn't
as
it?
someone that knew Dawn for over 2 decades, I think she would really appreciate this.
Yeah, you guys got married after 3 weeks of dating at a magic mountain.
Yeah, why don't you share that story? Why doesn't somebody share something nice instead of shredding CDRs and expired gift cards?
I'm sorry. I'm just with the catering company. Is this on or off?
Is what on?
Are we still moving forward with the service? If not, then I would have to get rid of all this food.
Shred it.
No.
I've never tried food.
Can I do a pizza?
Why? Hey.
Whoa!
Oh, no, it's jammed. It's fully jammed.
It's jammed.
Gunked up with all the marinara sauce. Damn. This was not included in the product testing.
Everybody gets sad and starts crying.
Damn it.
Is the shredder broken? Will it come back?
Who cares? My wife is dead.
I thought it was indestructible. I thought that I had created the perfect machine.
I'd like to say a few words about the shredder.
Shut up.
I only got to play with the shredder for a few minutes, but when I first saw it doing shredding the pages of the hymnal like it was butter, that shredder shredded it like it was butter. Did anyone else notice? It shredded those hymnal pages like butter. It handled the pictures like nobody's business. It took a Target gift card out and spit it out like
pixie
spit
dust.
it out like a boxer's. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It spit it out like pixie dust. We didn't get to try the CDRs, but that was an entertaining idea. I didn't know you couldn't put pizza through it. I just wish I'd respected it a little more since and let it. I loved it before it went. We need to. He goes over to the casket and takes the woman out of it.
What the hell are you doing with my wife?
I'm gonna put the shredder in here.
Wait. I want an independent autopsy. I want to know. Hold on.
It was the fucking pizza.
Hold on.
You don't know that.
I need to know. So I want to fix this because I want to be able to shred anything on Earth. Okay. Even these feelings that I have inside.
There's a guy in the back. I can bring that shredder back, but it might not be the same.
What do you mean? It'll be better?
A better
Some
shredder?
say better. You can bury it out in that old pet cemetery out back. That's been known to bring things back.
Well, all right. Well, it wasn't really a pet. It was like my business venture. But it'll work?
Well, I don't know what to tell you. You can bury it in the back garden and it'll come back.
All right.
We cut to this guy at his house. You couldn't get any. How are you bad at this business? You just need people to bury their stuff in the yard. You can't find anybody with anything to bury?
I don't know. It's a name thing. I tried petcemetery.com. I tried we've got kidscemetery.com.
What?
Ring.
Hello?
Hi. This is Sarah Zimmerman from Disney. I'm just calling in regards to your friend Jake Jabbour. Just following up on a listed reference here. He listed you and your number. Yeah, and he just mentioned here that you were pen pals for 2 decades.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, yes. You're from Disney, you say?
Yeah, he's actually interviewing for a senior VP position here at Disney Corp. And we like to vet everyone on multiple levels. But he put you down as one of his top 3 references.
Oh my gosh, that's just great. That is just
So
great.
it is great.
What's she saying?
So it is great.
Yeah, for sure. You said VP? My goodness.
Yeah.
You know, his letters always struck me as like maybe like if he was going to work for Disney, it would be like it's like that person who would stand by the sword that doesn't always come out.
Oh, like one of our actors in the park.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, that's because he always wanted to be like an actor. He always wanted to be like an actor and like just share himself, like be vulnerable on stage. I didn't realize he wanted to be like a really stuffy corporate exec type.
Yeah, that's interesting because he did mention always wanting to be a senior VP. So this is good to know. This is actually good information.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh my God! Did I just ruin it?
No. If anything, this is valuable. This is all good information for us.
Listen, because I feel like the letters are a chance for people to like share, their like truths and stuff and
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm
we
sorry.
actually have a lot of success in contacting pen pals. We find that they have a more honest opinion of the subject than even a coworker. So tell me, when he was away at camp in 1992, did he mention any illegal drug use or anything untoward at that time? We're just checking in on some of his younger period.
No, I mean, it was like kind of cool to like see if we could make each other laugh, like to the point where other kids laugh to the point where like milk would come out of like noses and stuff.
You said milk?
I don't think anything.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, did I just ruin it? Did I just?
No, this is just for me. That's funny.
We cut to Sarah meeting with me. I don't understand. What's this goofy helmet head for?
I'm sorry, a goofy.
What am I doing with this? I interviewed for a VP position.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So in the process of doing your background check, I actually learned a lot more about you than in any of our interviews. You are a fascinating figure, Jake Jabbour. Fascinating.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
So we do not want to give you that VP position. You are absolutely unqualified. But what I did learn is that we have a wonderful fit for you, and that is the first ever Goofy of 2020. There's been a lot of Goofies, but we're hiring a new one this year, and it's going to be you.
Well, why'd you dress it up like that? I want to be a VP. I don't want to be the first Goofy of 2020.
Okay, here's my ears.
What the hell? Don't I get a new suit?
Oh, absolutely not.
Nah, 2020 Goofy's pretty close to 2019, except for you got new sunglasses. Anyways, this thing holds farts pretty good, so get in slowly. I got
them pretty good. What is that? Is that a positive or a negative?
Depends on if you like farts.
Likes farts.
You like your own brand.
Okay.
Can you take off your suit?
No. What do you mean take off my suit? You're not giving the 2019 Goofy my VP position.
Do you want to tell him or should I?
I was getting there, but feel free to take over.
What the heck is going on? And why is everybody drinking milk when I'm talking? I feel like I'm in some weird dream.
That's just for us. It's
I'm waiting for you to say something funny.
I got nothing funny to say. I want to be VP of marketing for Disney. I don't want to dress up like Goofy in sunglasses in a fart-filled suit.
Yeah.
Let me read
Well-
you something from a letter that you wrote to your pen pal 18 years ago today. I never want to sell out and be one of those corporate drones that wears a suit to work every day. I always want to stick to my dream of being an actor. Were those not your words? Did you not write those?
They were the words of an 11-year-old. They were the words of an
Eloquent
11-year-old. I also
words.
said I wanted to marry Carmen Electra. That didn't happen either. So I'll be a corporate suit and I'll make a lot of money.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
You want to marry Carmen Electra?
I did when I was 11.
Zero.
God, you're taking everything from me. I'll call her.
What? Wait, what?
I'm married to Carmen Electra.
Look, pal.
It's not that crazy.
Hey,
It's a
I'm sure
dream.
she's gonna want to have a say in this. B, I'm not taking her or your Goofy job.
Well, from where I'm sitting, you're living the dream. I was happy where I was. Now I got to go wear a suit and go be a VP just
No,
because
you
pen
don't.
pal said I want to be the president of Mickey Mouse or something in a letter 17 years ago.
We don't have to abide by pen pal law. That's ridiculous.
I don't write the rules. Give me your suit. Here. Watch out when you put the pants on. You actually do need to put them on two legs at a time. It's too hard
I have to
maneuver.
hop into these fucking pants.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Can we practice the voice?
No, I'm not gonna.
Oh, that was
Well, you're not going to be very good Goofy
Let
then.
me get the milk ready. Do it again.
I'm not doing that.
Just
You're
tickle
gonna-
him a little.
It's coming out of my nose.
He did it. He
Oh,
did
it's coming out of my
it.
nose.
He did it.
Oh, that was good.
You know, I questioned your out of my nose too. I questioned your methods, but that was a good
We need to
Goofy.
invest in this man's career. This guy has talent.
I don't want to be a milk. I don't want to be a Goofy who inspires milk to shoot out of people's noses. Okay,
I got some ideas for the company.
You want this? You want this guy, this farting guy, to give you ideas for the company? What about your pen pal letters? What did they say, Miss Zimmerman?
Well, I personally didn't have the fortitude and the follow through that you did. I don't deserve this job to be president, let alone senior vice president. I'm resigning today.
What? Why? You have a great job.
I just don't think I deserve it. But you deserve your dream. And that's acting. Acting for Disney Corporation.
You're going to want to come up with a plan for when the kid hits you in the balls on accident, because it's going to happen.
I hereby resign.
That made me president.
I'm just gonna type that.
Let's buy stuff. Buy Care Bears. Let's buy Warner Brothers. Can Disney buy Warner Brothers? Do we own Bugs Bunny?
We cut to the park and we're with Goofy 2020 signing an autograph for a kid. Goofy, what is this? You filled my whole autograph book with a market share strategy. What is that? What is a
Hey.
market share strategy?
Take that and run with it. And whatever you do, have a little foresight, okay? I got a 20-year plan. Write to a pen pal that exact plan. And in it, write about promoting a sad, probably in 20 years, sterile Goofy to the head of VP, okay?
See a security guard elbow him. At least do the voice. Do the voice.
I mean, that market share will get you to the top of the company, and then you can hire me, Goofy, as your VP. Go.
All right, let's get back to the meat part of the podcast. This is where a guest shares a true meaty story from their life. Sarah, you're up. What would you like to talk about?
Ooh, okay, yeah. One of my favorite stories to tell is when I had just graduated from college and I was like living back at home. Didn't want to jump into a traditional job just yet. So I was like trolling the Craigslist, seeing what was available in rural Maryland. And this one posting was for they were hiring someone to read audiobooks at this like small publishing company in Frederick, Maryland, which is a lovely town. I would really recommend. But this place was called America Star Books. And when you Google them, it's just a bunch of bad reviews of the company. It's just like, this place is a scam. They tell you they'll publish your book and they won't. They took my money and never published. It's just bad review after bad review. It's awful. There's multiple articles about the company, but it's still going. And I went to the interview and they were like, yeah, we're just going to have you like read some stuff. And if we like it, it's not too difficult. We're just going to have you back and you can just go in the booth every day and just read stuff on your own. And I was like, okay. So I passed the test. They hired me on and they paid me $10 an hour to read books that basically like people paid to get self-published. So these were some bad books, man. The first one was called Abigail Unloved. And it was about like a middle-aged woman rediscovering her sexuality post-divorce. And she's doing that by like,
I'm looking it up.
You will find the book. You will never be able to find my audio books that I recorded. I've tried and they're gone. But yeah, she like rediscovers her sexuality by going back through all of her exes. That was really good. The next one was called Quagmire on Orcas Island, and it was about a domestic terrorist cell off the coast of Washington State. I think Washington State.
Yes.
Yeah. That was really interesting. There was a book about a boy whose family was killed in a car crash, so then he fakes his own death and hides within the hotel that they had just bought and then just takes care of the hotel. A lot of weird shit. But the worst one, oh, fuck, I don't remember the name of it, but it was about basically a doctor who murdered his wife, I think. Like, I read the whole book and I still cannot tell you what it was about because it was like incomprehensible. And because he was a doctor, it kept switching to like a description of someone in a hospital bed. And it would do like a 2-page long medical description with like a shit ton of words that I had to look up each time to learn how to pronounce. It was crazy. And it was like bizarre. It was like reading the inner thoughts of like a madman, but he's still paying to get it self-published and then paying more for me to create an audiobook version. So it was a crazy job.
So the extra, they had to pay extra to have you do the audio.
Yeah, I got paid. I was not scammed. I got the money. I scammed them because it was a really easy job.
How many books would you say you read?
Oh, probably like 5 or 6. It was only a couple months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you play around with voices or anything like that, or did you just read it pretty straight?
Yeah, a little bit. I had some fun. The best part was that I did not have to interact with anyone. I just walked in, I went to the booth, and then no one needed to talk to me. So I could just do my own thing in there. Nobody could see me being goofy. So
there was no direction.
no direction. There's no one like in another room being like, okay, do that one more time. It was just like, if you fuck up, just record it again. It was all self-guided. It was the ultimate job.
That's amazing. I want that job
Yeah,
right
it
now.
was $10 an hour.
Holy shit.
To just read bad books out loud.
Yeah, and this was before.
That's
This
funny.
was when I was still like, oh, I shouldn't be high at work. I should have been high every day. Oh God.
Why'd you stop the job?
Let's see. I think it was because like they just like, it wasn't a steady thing necessarily. It wasn't like a 9 to 5. And so like I went out of town, and then when I got back, they were like, we don't have anything. And then we just kind of lost touch. And since then I've tried to reach out to them to be like, yo, is there a link anywhere? Like, can I get this? And I've tried to be like, I need it as a sample or something that would be like, no, I really need this. And I've gotten no response. I'm pretty sure the company might have shut down completely. Like, I was amazed it's still running.
Whoa. But there's a potential that there are audiobooks somewhere out there, like you narrated some audiobooks.
Yeah, and they're just floating out there in the ether.
I mean, I'm sure that doctor guy has a copy. He's got to have it. If he paid extra for it.
Right. And it's like, what? They didn't like my work enough that they want to just publish it? Like, come on. You know it was good.
Can you run me through that doctor guy one more time? So
Yeah,
like,
I fucked that one up because it's so confusing. Like, it was just such a confusing story. He was like cheating on his wife, but also planning to kill her. And he was a doctor, so he was doing it in like a kind of medical way. But
killing the wife?
yeah, but there was just like, it was just like the sentences would be like half a page long, you know, it would just kind of go on uninterrupted. And then it would like cut between scenes really weirdly. It was like The Room, the movie, but like in a novel form. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah. Sort of just all over the place.
Yeah, the whole time I was like,
So you kind of had to make some stylistic. It almost sounds like you had to make some like stylistic. You must have had to at least wrap your head around it enough to be like, how do I, like in a weird way, you've grappled with their work more than almost anyone else. In some,
probably more than the editors of this publishing company. I seriously doubt they read it. It was not very well proofread, and I'm not even sure all the medical terms were real. I'm pretty sure he was throwing in some makeup. So, yeah, it was odd. It was kind of creepy to read, honestly.
Yeah, a little too personal.
Yeah, we were peering into his mind.
Yeah. Did you have any like did it change if you thought about or how you think about like writing novels or even audiobooks? Like did it have any sort of like leave an impression on you in terms of like any of that?
Like when I'm listening to, you know, Michelle Obama read Becoming, do I feel a kinship to her because we've both read our audiobooks? Definitely. There's a brotherhood to this industry. And even though I just did my toe in it, I do feel that solidarity with all the people that have read audiobooks because it's a small number.
Right.
But
yeah,
it's an art. It's harder than it seems, I would say. Especially keeping it slow.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing. I had to slow down. So it's really hard. It's really hard work. You got to be really focused and definitely not high.
Yeah. It's like, how do you know you needed to slow down? No one was telling you.
That was the one thing when I interviewed, they were like, read this. Okay, great. Yeah, you'll be good. Just slow down a little bit. That was it. The last piece of feedback I ever got.
Wow.
I missed it.
I do think whoever narrates audiobooks, like I've definitely stopped reading or listening to some because of the narrator, and like I flew through Sharp Objects, and I think a big part of it was like the narration.
Was it
The
good?
woman who was doing it was just awesome.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, the book is really good, but I also watched the miniseries, so I kind of knew what was happening. But like, I was actually talking to my friend Lisa about it, and she was like, "Yeah, I would like think about that woman's voice like throughout the day."
Damn.
Like, and I have no Harry Potter knowledge, but I am told that the guy who narrates the Harry Potter books is like a man.
He's our god. You know, in the Brotherhood, he's our god.
Yeah.
I listened to the Ronan Farrell book, the recent one.
Catch and Kill.
But yeah, thank you. I forgot the name of it. I actually listened to a lot of audiobooks, and I thought that was so weird because
I'm just thinking
he
of another
narrates it
book
himself, but he also takes the liberty to do character voices for people.
Oh, interesting.
Did you listen to it? Amalia, it was very strange because it's like he's not an actor or anything, and he like in some of the cases did like kind of like, I don't know, like accents for different people and stuff like that. And it was like, I just was reading it like, you really didn't need to do this.
Whose idea was
really
that?
didn't need to like. I mean, I have to believe his. Like he didn't have anyone else. Like he wrote it. He narrated
He's trying
it.
to make the jump.
Like at some point, I guess, but it was just such an odd choice. I sometimes don't mind it. Like I listened to a one on Jim Henson that had some like Muppets and stuff. Like they would like read. But it was one guy reading the book, and then he would. It was something it was just about Jim Henson, but like he would talk in like the Muppets voices from time to time, so like estimated, and I thought it was just a tasteful touch of Muppet.
Touch of Muppet.
Ronan Farrell was not. Anyway, man, I wish I was in the Brotherhood. I'm very jealous.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight knit group, so everyone wants to be in it, but not everyone can, unfortunately.
I'm talking real shit. Improv.
Okay, Muppets. I got y'all in here. We gotta cool it with the narration. Okay, we're doing an audiobook. It's the autobiography of Jim Henson. I got you in here. Thought it'd be. We just want a little touch of Muppet. Okay, you don't have to go all full Muppet on this. Okay.
Waka waka.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I got coffee with you this morning, and it was very just above board, pretty not animated at all. Okay, so
You want me to talk like I did when I got coffee?
yeah, there we go. Great.
But what about a little bit of just a little bit of riffing?
Okay, I feel like you're hamming it up for the audiobook. I saw you get into a dispute with somebody who took your parking spot out front there, Kermit. So I don't think
Yeah, well,
you have
that
to do the character
motherfucker
voice.
knew what he was doing.
Okay. Just keep it cool, okay? We're just doing you're narrating the autobiography. A dash of Muppet would be nice. We don't need to go full Muppet, okay?
So I accept your note, but
Great.
we are doing some of the. We should put a little. You're asking for not go full Muppet, just half Muppet. And as an actor, I have to say I find it confusing. I'll do my best, but
Great.
one can't portray Fozzie as without going full Fozzie or Piggy.
Okay. Well, we haven't We haven't even gotten to the Muppets yet. This is about Jim Henson riding his bike, falling off, scraping his knee on the grass, and then coming up with the idea for the Kermit song about it's not easy being green, right? So we don't actually, all I need you to do is narrate him falling off the bike.
How am I not
Remember,
supposed to emphasize a lot during that story when it's all about me and being green? That's very important.
okay. Well, I think you're playing your hand a little early is all, right? We just want to, it's a sad day. The rain's coming down. He got yelled at and picked on at school. He's riding his bike home. He slips, he falls in the grass. Okay, that's it. Just very upfront. Then we can dash it in with a little Muppet later. Okay, so we'll take it from the top. Anybody wants to? We just want you to narrate.
Okay, that was another thing because there's 12 of us around this microphone. We're all sort of stepping in and out as we do the characters. It's a lot of improvisation. It's a lot of. But I'll start. I'll bring us there.
Great, please.
Jim rode his bike down a North Carolina roadway.
Great.
You're going to comment from there?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I should be in the booth. I didn't realize.
Can you
Let
get
me get
out of
back in
our
the booth.
ears?
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm pushing the button. Go for it.
Jim rode his bike down the North Carolina Parkway. A little drizzle came from the June sky. A little pond. He saw a little pond over on the right side of where he came from, where there was a group of small frogs singing a song along with their leader, Kermit the Frog.
That's me, Ray. That's my cue.
Waka waka, you bet it is.
Okay, got
Kirby. Oh, Kermit, sing more of the song for me.
Okay.
Sing more of the song for me, Kermit.
All right. Cut.
Ah, they shot me out of a cannon. Sorry, I'm working on my gonzo.
Okay.
When I do a gonzo, is it throat or nasal?
I think it's more nasally. You're gonna want to do more nasally, but Gonzo, we're saving Gonzo to the end. We want people to get to the end of the book before we even get any Gonzo. Okay.
Smart.
Great.
Did you have notes?
Yeah. Kermit, can you just stay on script? You popped in there seemingly like it caught you off guard. Okay. That's note one.
Sorry.
Okay, good. Note two. We don't need to throw in Miss Piggy for any reason yet. Okay.
Well,
That's
I'd
coming
like
in
to hear
later.
more about Miss Piggy. Sorry, but I'm right.
I agree. The Muppets aren't the Muppets without Piggy. Muppets are Muppets without Piggy. All 12. Muppets are the Muppets.
Okay. Look,
Yeah, man, you can't have the Muppets if you're not going to have Piggy. Right?
That's right. Okay.
There's 12 of us here.
Yeah.
Is he just gonna do all the voices? There's 12 of us here, so
Yeah. I didn't want to say anything, but
Okay. Actually,
there's
no.
12 of us here.
That actually we can have Fozzie take 5. And
I
then
bid you adieu.
great, thank you. And then if you want to pick up Kermit, also if you want to you can take a 5 if you want. You can go just
I don't need to
Just
wait.
speak up.
I'm ready to work. I'm ready to go.
all right. Great. Let's pick up from where he left off. Okay, there's the he's getting home, runs up to his room, starts writing down the song. Okay.
I'm sorry,
Is
did
this
you want me back?
So it's me, right? I'm just gonna read my line.
Yeah, Kermit.
Okay, I'll get out of here.
Thank
It's
you.
not, I think right here would be a good time for me to sing It's Not Easy Being Green. I think that'd be a really good idea.
I hear you. The note's been taken, but we're not just going to break into a song in the middle of the book, okay?
Well, I really feel like you're tying my hands here. You're not really giving me full range to do what I want to do and do what I'm good at, which is being Kermit the Frog.
I got it. I'm not trying to tie your hands, okay? I just want to make this palatable to the ears.
Because I feel like this was supposed to be covered in my contract.
The Swedish chef, I can try and get him, but I think he's busy right now.
I told him to be available for this in case we needed to get him on the line.
Well, I'll try him. Ring.
Is he not answering?
Muted?
Oh, he's here. He's on. I got him.
Ask him if I can sing It's Not Easy Being Green.
Look. Okay. Mr. Swedish Chef, your client Kermit here is demanding to get a little singing in on the audiobook. I said it's not part of the contract. He insisted I call you. All right,
Give me the phone.
Okay. All right, here you go.
What the hell? No, that is not true. That's absolutely false. You told me the contract would allow me to sing It's Not Easy Being Green.
We see
This again.
one of the voice actors has crawled onto a balcony. Hey, you know what my favorite part about this book was? The end! Ah!
Yeah, the amusement park was so fun, right? Like, got to get cotton candy. We got to ride the Giant Dipper.
Love the Dipper.
Yeah. You know what I always wanted to do? Like, let's go to the part of the park where we could go in and record our own audiobook.
Okay, but we only got park's only open till 8:30, so.
But like, didn't you always want to wonder what that's like to be an audiobook narrator? Like, you can do that in a real life professional studio. You just have to pay $25. You can go
That's
home.
more?
What?
It costs more to do the audiobook engineer part of the park?
And then you can have it. And then you could submit it, maybe to America's Got Talent or do they still do Star Search? You could submit that and
No.
get discovered.
Hey, listen, I'm having. I guess we got to do a couple of things I wanted to do. We did get to do you did do the Dipper with me. I don't mind doing it. I just don't want it to take all day,
But real talent has no time bounds.
Yeah, but the day pass does. It's one day. We get one day at the park. They close at 8:30. As long as we can as long as we can get on. As long as you get on the Superman ride by the end of the day, I'm good.
Do you not have a dream for yourself? Are you saying that your voice and my voice, we don't have what it takes to be in the likes of the person who did the Harry Potter audiobook?
Listen, we could. I'm just saying we paid for the day at the amusement park. You're pursuing a career here, or looking for a stepping stone into what sounds like a voice acting career. I'm saying let's do the Superman ride, maybe hit the Dipper a couple more times. In Iron Wolf, they let you stand up. I mean, this.
Fine. We'll do it.
Don't pout. I don't want to have a pouty day at the park now.
If it's okay. I understand the line is very long for the Superman ride. I can just use it. I'll use it to get myself prepared for when we go in that booth.
I can't. Let's just go to the booth. You're gonna pout. All right. We'll bring some cotton candy there.
Cut to the
Cut to the booth.
Oh wow, cool. Look at all the different microphones they use through the years. This place is cool.
Yes, this is actually a historic site dedicated by the state government. These are all authentic microphones. Yes.
Books on
Very good.
tape. Books on tape.
Can we get to the studio? You've sort of been taking your time giving us a tour. I know you're wearing a vest. I'm not even sure if you work here.
Well, this is actually the historic tour of the booth that precedes.
I don't want this.
This is a part of the package. This was a part of the $145 package that you purchased.
I thought it was 25. Motherfucker. I gave you my credit card and went to get a snow cone. And
Yep.
Also, I forgot to mention no photography. There will be a portion where we take a photo of you, and you're welcome to look at the photo, but you cannot have it unless you purchase it for.
What are you doing with the photo?
The photos are for us unless you want to buy them.
I don't trust that.
What?
If we continue with the tour, if you look above this archway here, and you'll see notched into it is the name Jim D. Now, that was actually written by Jim Dale himself when he visited this.
Jim who?
Excuse me?
Jim who?
You don't know who Jim
Oh,
Dale
I
is?
apologize.
Are you with this man?
Yeah. Yep, and I gravely apologize for
His ignorance?
Sweetheart, don't walk away from me.
I'm not here to educate you about the history of audiobooks. I'm just describing to you this specific historical site, but I would encourage you to do your own research, sir, and get some context.
Okay, I'd encourage you to have more fun at Six Flags. This is a bore. All right? I want to go throw up my lunch on the X3 ride.
Ma'am, you're dating this man?
I am.
You two are in a sexual relationship? And a romantic
We
one?
are. Mhm.
Got it. Sorry, I just wanted to
We
check.
have, oh, wow, jeez. We're usually pretty modest about that kind of stuff.
So as for this
Well.
carving, this was made by Jim Dale himself when he made his pilgrimage here in his youth. And he actually credits his visit to this site, to this booth, as giving him the inspiration to pursue a career. And I think it's safe to say if this booth did not exist and this tour did not exist, we would not have Jim Dale. We would not have the audiobooks of Harry Potter. So
Oh, that's who it is.
at this point in the tour, I like to take a 2-minute minute of silence to just reflect on the idea and reflect on
You do this
the
every
world
tour?
that we might have if we didn't have this booth and we didn't have Jim Dale. Nothing like
You
it.
should have known who Jim. Should have known who Jim Dale
I'll start the
was.
2 minutes now.
I make you play that. I make you play that like before. I make you play it so that like I could get in the mood. You didn't know
Oh,
what Jim Dale.
God. You don't think that's... She makes me play Harry Potter audiobooks so we get horny together.
we got to the next part of the ride. Okay, you might be this is similar to the castle at Disneyland. You're gonna look into the mirror. We're gonna have you read a line of dialogue, and then it's gonna tell you what audiobook you're gonna narrate.
Finally. God, that moment of silence went on for so long.
Great. So
Jesus Christ, it's 3 a.m.
okay, ma'am, if you want to go first.
I have to be at work tomorrow.
We need it quiet while she reads the line. It is, I will not eat them on a train. I will not eat them in the rain. And you'll read that and it'll tell you what audiobook you're going to narrate. Go ahead.
I will not eat them in the train. I will not eat them in the rain.
Ooh. All right. You will be narrating the Deathly Hollows. So if you'll go to this door to the left, you'll get a break every 2 hours.
What?
Yes.
I'm so tired.
Sir, it's now your turn.
I don't want to do it.
It's I will not eat them on a train. I will not eat them in the rain. Go ahead.
I will not eat them on a train. I will not eat them in the rain. I mean, what is this?
All right. Ooh. And you will be reading a self-published novel by a failed doctor who attempts to kill his wife and accidentally severs off his own penis. It's
I don't want to read it.
it's 16 hours, and you'll be in this booth over here. Okay.
We got to the booth with Josh where the author is waiting inside. Oh, I'm so happy to meet you. I've been waiting for hours to meet who's gonna narrate my book.
Hey, listen, I don't want to insult you, but I don't want to do this. I've got a really important business meeting tomorrow. I wanted to blow off some steam at Six Flags, ride the X3, stand up on the Iron Wolf, take Superman to the top. I did the Dipper. I don't know how I'm here now, but it feels like you expect me to work. And by the way, did you cut your penis off?
I like to keep the distinctions between my fiction and my real life blurry, if you know what I mean.
Okay, because your jeans are bleeding.
Well, that's something else. Well, listen, Josh, right?
Yeah, you got it.
I've been waiting for someone to come into this booth and read my book for over 18 months now. So
Jesus, you've been living in here?
I feel like you and I are fated. We are sealed together. And we are going to make this audio book the best freaking audio book anybody's ever heard. What do you say?
Let's just start. I want to see my wife.
All right, so
go to a montage. He's reading into a microphone. He starts off kind of slow. The author's like throwing like papers at him, swatting him around, like directing him. They're both in a full sweat.
It's sexier.
Sexier.
There's a part where he's like trying to catch a chicken in the alleyway for a little while. He's got back into the recording booth. He's got a bandana on. He's sweating a lot.
He's getting like muscles.
Yeah, like a frozen pig hanging on a hook behind him.
Meanwhile, the wife is done and sitting outside waiting in Six Flags. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
You're already loose, Josh. You're already loose. Let's go.
Oh my God, there's Bill Gates. Sweetheart, I'm gonna go over there and talk to him. We're like kind of we're sort of
whoa. You don't know if he'll want that?
Nah, we have a lot in common. It's kind of just a brotherhood, tech guys. And do you remember last week I fixed the Roku remote?
Yeah.
What?
You
don't need to tell him that. But I'm going to share that with him, and we'll be off to the races.
Well, I just don't want.
I don't want you to embarrass me. I'm about to network with one of the richest men in the world, and of course, you don't want to support me on that.
Network? You're going to go up and ask for a selfie. That's not.
I'm going to go up and talk tech.
You're seeing him at the Milwaukee airport. I'm amazed he's even here.
He's kind of inviting it on. He's a tech guy, just like me. Remember
Just go. You know what? Just go. I'll be here.
No. Okay. And when I'll look over and I'll wave to you, and I want to introduce you, and you'll come in and you'll close the deal. And then
sure. Back in.
We can cut over to Bill Gates with his wife Melinda Gates. Oh my God, I think that's Peyton Manning. I'm gonna go over there. We're kind of in the same brotherhood. Remember last week I threw the Roku remote at you?
And it was a perfect
A perfect spiral. We're in the same brotherhood. I'm going to go over there. These two guys awkwardly walk up to each other.
Hi.
Hello.
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 You Bill, right? Mr. Gates?
That's correct, Mr. Peyton. Mr. Manning.
Mr. Manning. You can blah, blah, blah. Let's talk tech.
Let's talk football.
No, I talk football all the time. That part of my life is behind me.
I talk tech all the time. You don't have to dumb down for me. We're part of the same brotherhood.
I agree. We are. Just the other day, I had a Roku remote.
I also had a Roku remote.
And my wife stepped on it. Is the story we're going with.
Oh, well, my wife needed it to change the channel.
Oh, yeah?
So I threw it. Perfect spiral.
Well, we broke our remote, and I was able to fix it with just a little. I took the back screw off the remote and took it apart, and it just had shaken the. I basically put in new batteries.
And I'm sorry to interrupt this meeting of the minds here.
Here's the.
We're late. We gotta get to our gate.
I'm talking. This is the klutz that broke the remote, by the way.
Excuse me.
You don't want to meet Bill Gates, sweetheart?
I'll see you at the gates, okay? Good to see you, Mr. Gates.
Nice to see you, Giselle. Is that right?
No.
No, that's Tom Brady, and I'm sick of that, okay?
Yikes.
I'm my own
You hit a nerve there, Bill. Yeah,
oh my God. Oh my God. Do not let my wife see you flipping me off. She does not take kindly to that.
I'll do it again.
I wouldn't do that around Melinda.
Yeah, what's Melinda gonna do? Pay me? Give me all of her
Sweetheart.
money? Try me.
Did I see two middle fingers in the air?
You have to excuse us. All those years in football got us a little brutish and rowdy.
You'll have to excuse Melinda. She's used to bullying her way into philanthropy. So she can be a bit of a...
Melinda, I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry for my rude wife.
No.
This is bullshit.
Sweetheart.
Bill Gates insults your wife and then you apologize to his wife? In what world is that right?
I'm trying to make it in the tech world. You wouldn't understand because you're not a part of the brotherhood.
You say brotherhood one more time, I'm ripping your ticket up.
Don't do that. Don't rip my ticket up. Don't do it. Okay. Let's talk tech. So
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to.
So what are your big ideas? I got some ideas.
Well, I think if you ran a button hook next time you get the opportunity.
Just a button hook?
Are you kidding me?
Against what? Are you trying to split up the zone?
Did you know that we do a lot of charity work? We own multiple charity organizations. You might want to know about that, Mr. Gates, but instead you're talking about button hooks? What is wrong with you, man?
Don't.
Look, I think we got off on the wrong foot. And my wife and I would like to invite you to our cabin in the woods.
Yes.
We could.
What woods? Are we talking Aspen?
Deep Aspen.
Deep Aspen.
Okay.
There's only one road going in and out.
That's tech stuff. We're about to join the Illuminati. Hey, let me ask you something, Bill. He puts his arm around. You're not coming to the Deep Aspen?
That's it. I'm ripping it up.
All right, thank you so much for being on the Meet Improv. That was a blast.
Yeah, thank you both.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming on and getting silly with us. let's go around and promote, or you give you a chance to promote or talk about whatever you like. Instagram handles, Twitter handles. Where can people find you? Let us know. Let's start with you, Sarah. Where can people look up your stuff?
Ooh, again, my username is Zimmer_down. So if you want, and then another underscore, you can find me there. But yeah, I'm kind of on Twitter, but you can join the 250 followers.
There you go. And you had some good. You went to one of the very first protests in Los Angeles, and
that stuff's all on my Instagram.
In your highlights,
same
right?
handles. So if you want to check that out, yeah.
I found that illuminating. Just basically a report, firsthand report from the ground of what happened on that. Was it the first day in Beverly Hills? Was it the Beverly Hills one or the downtown one?
Yeah, it was the third in Fairfax one.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought that was interesting, so check that out. Amalia?
I'm on Instagram at Amalia Aquino and at Lotions11. And people can write me letters if they want to. And Casey, follow the Meet Improv podcast.
Yeah. Awesome. Jake?
I don't have much right now, but you can go to weimprov.org. Check that out for classes, workshops, and I'm doing every 2 weeks a free session on something new and different. I'm going to be doing one. It will probably be up next week. A workshop on teaching. So I'm going to do a teaching workshop for people who want to check that out. That'll be free. So go to weimprov.org.
Interesting. Cool. I'm at Josh Simpson on Instagram, Mr. Josh Simpson on Twitter. Nothing really here either at the moment. So the Meet Improv is on all the social media stuff at the Meet Improv. And we have our Patreon with an extra bonus episode every week where Jake and I talk shop and also access to our Discord channel. So that's at www.patreon.com/the Meet Improv. That's it. Thanks so much for listening. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on the Meet Improv.